Hey, this is Allie Edwards and welcome to the video walkthrough of my foundation pages for my December Daily 2015 album. Super excited to share this with you today and want you to keep in mind most of the things that I put in here for me, at least specifically this year, I'm willing to move around. So a lot of the things that you will see haven't been stuck down yet, or I haven't fused or stitched any pockets shut that might be holding some smaller items, and I'll point those out for you as well so you see what I'm talking about. Just to giving myself a little bit more flexibility, but also giving myself a framework to work from. Something else to tell you that I mentioned above in the post is that right now I've set it up so that I have a 2-page spread for each day in December, and it's highly likely based on past projects that some of those will either get removed or moved around because I'll only use one side of a page protector for a day. So starting off, we've got a Jasmine Jones album here, designed by Jasmine Jones. There are additional albums available in the December Daily section of my shop. This particular one sold out very quickly, but we do have another red one and a white one. There's a mini one that's a 4x6 with the same design on it if you're interested in doing a 4x6 book this year as well. Okay, so let's start off with the inside of the cover here. As you can see, it's white, and I'm also hopeful that you can see that I have embossed stars on the inside, and those were embossed using a large 12x12 stencil from the Crafters Workshop. And here's actually the stencil that I used. It's, like I said, it's 12x12, and I've got a link to it below. And you can, basically what I did is I just laid it on there. I took my Versamark embossing ink, put it on top, so that I had the little stars on there, and then I used white embossing powder. There's a Zing white embossing powder, but Tim Holtz also has one as well. They both work good. I've used both of them actually within this album itself. And it's just a fun way to add a little bit of texture to the inside of your album. Having a 12x12 stencil was really nice because that was easy to get coverage over the whole thing. I considered doing it in this part too, and I may still add something there. Or continue on and do the stencil there as well. I put the 15 for the date. There's just one of the little stars is from the main kit. These metal numbers are old numbers that were a Tim Holtz product, previously. I couldn't find any more of these available. These ones actually had the little holes for the brads in them, but there is a smaller version. They're about, these are about 1.5 inches, I think, and the ones that are available are about 1 inch. So if you're interested in that, you can click on the link, the supply link below for those too. I just like adding the metal. It was a nice texture. I did not put the brads all the way through the album. If you happen to still have some of these in your stash, there are glue dots that are rolled up underneath on the inside of those that are keeping them in the album itself. All right, let's move over here to the title page. For the title page, I used pieces from my main kit. I used the main kit throughout my album. I also used a few pieces from some of the mini kits, and I'll point those out to you as we go along as well. And those are listed below or above, depending on where I put the video in this post. That link those as well. So this is a transparent page that's included in the kit with a red snowflake and then a December Daily rubber banner. This is adhered, the banner is adhered onto the snowflake, and the snowflake is adhered onto the transparent page using red line tape, which is also called super sticky tape, that's available in the shop in the 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch size, which is my favorite. I love that tape for adding ribbon or other things, and it's very hard to see. You can't really see it at all. You probably wouldn't notice it if you came and looked there. And I just left it plain on the back. Then I have my first page is the Merry Happy Love Joy pattern paper, full-size 6x8 pattern paper that looks like it's on a chalkboard. I may add something to this before the month starts. I just kind of love this page, and I love the beginning, the design of the beginning, so I might leave it like that as well. Okay, so then the first page, the way that I like to begin the month is by setting an intention. And if you're taking my Storytelling with December Daily workshop, that's the whole topic of our week 2. Well, it's a big piece of the week 2, talking about the process of getting ready for December, getting ready for the album. In the post here, I've included a free download for you that has intentions on it that you can print out for yourself and then write in what your own intentions are for the season. If you like the wording "my reason why" or "our reason why" better, I also have a link for you for the 2014 download from the foundation pages last year, where that was how I started the album. I took one of the wood snowflakes from the main kit and I went ahead and just cut it using some Tim Holtz scissors. I cut it in half. I kept the middle part on one of them and kind of took it off on the other side, and I just adhered those with some rolling adhesive. My intentions this year, I picked 2 words, and the words are cozy and magic. And then I also picked a song that I put on there. That's the Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, the James Taylor version, kind of as our theme song for this year. So that is the intentions page. I love beginning my album with that as a way to begin documenting the season and as a way to just set the tone. It's also something that I come back to again and again throughout the month as well. Over here then, I have one of the 2" by 2" pocket pages. I have sliced off or cut off the 3rd row of pockets just to make it a different size. I like the size variety there. These are all metal rimmed circle tags, just old school ones you can find at the office supplies store. You can buy them on Amazon. Sometimes they have a string on them and sometimes they have a little metal ring as well. I used some of the December Daily stamp sets that we sold when the pre-order started and embossed them on a white circle, and then I punched those out using a 1", and I have a link for you here as well, a 1" circle punch. And then on the back, I also put a pattern paper as well, kept it very neutral, as you will see. Embossing inks I'm using, I've got a gold glitter, a red glitter, a pewter, a green metallic, and the white, of course, as well. In addition to those circle tags, this is one of the stamps here. This is one of the cards from the Jasmine Jones mini kits. It's a gold foil and it has Noel and peace, maybe one other word repeated over and over again. Chipboard star, gold star, just from an old kit. Don't even know where it's from. I have lots and lots of stars, and so I'm always adding more stars. This one's from the main kit this year as well. I've got an Avery index tab over here, another thing that I use regularly, and stamped "'Tis the Season" that's included on one of the December Daily stamp sets this year. On the back, I went really neutral with the patterns, and again, just punched those 1" pieces or 1" circles from different patterns in the kit and adhered it to the back. So it is a back-to-back thing. And so that page is essentially done. I won't do anything else with it once December starts. I did emboss on the back of the silver star. If you just peel off the adhesive from the star, you can dump your embossing powder right on top of that and then use the heat gun to set it. And that's a fun way to work with that as well. So then we're moving into day 1, and sometimes when I'm working on stuff like this, I just look around my desk to see what I have on my desk, and one of the things I had there was a die cut that I had cut out on my silhouette that says Tuesday, and I looked and saw that the first day of December is a Tuesday, so I went ahead and cut it with my, and added it in. And what this is on is, this is a piece of plastic. It is semi-thick. It's thicker than a page protector, so it's a little sturdier. But doing this onto a page protector would also work as well, that you could just slip in there. That will keep it in one place. The other thing too, adhesive that you could use on something like that would be like a spray adhesive. Sometimes when you pull something like a cut like that off of the silhouette, there's enough adhesive left over from the sticky mat that you can just stick it on there. And I think that's what I did in that case. I added a this and that card. This is from the main kit. Put that on there. I don't have a number 1 on this page, so I'll probably add that when the month comes around, but I figured that's a pretty decent story to tell that first day. The reindeer page is on the back of the this and that card. Probably won't keep that. That'll probably end up being a photo or something on top. It's one of the hard things when you are sharing foundation pages, especially in a divided pocket page album like this, where you see through to the other side. If you haven't covered it with something, sometimes it's hard to get an actual visual to understand what's happening on there, but that's the basics for you. Then we move on here. We've got number 2 over here. This is a card from Jasmine Jones kit. Again, it's a gold foil print on there. I've got a number 2 from my kit, which has a large alphabet, large red alphabet. I embossed using white embossing ink and one of the stamp sets directly onto the number 2 itself. So that's embossed right on there. And it's a little bit messy, but I think it goes along with the rest of it. It kind of feels like snow a little bit. I used some of the washi tape from the main kit to just seal that closed. It's folded over. And you can also see that on the back I have put white embossing powder so it doesn't have that raw chipboard look on the back. Moving on, we've got day 3. This 3 is from the main kit, from one of the pattern papers that you cut up. Over here I just have a couple cards in. This magic one is from the Kelly Purkey kit, and the gold star one is from the Jasmine Jones. This is a good example of where I'm just putting some stuff in there. I don't know what story I'm going to tell on day 3. For me, I don't plan the stories ahead. I know that I will have a story to tell on that day, and it may be that it's only in these pockets for day 3. I may not even end up using this page over here. But I've pulled out some of the ones that I like and some of the ones that I'm interested in potentially using. So they may not get used here, but they may get used somewhere else. Day 4, I used the card with the 4 on it, and I added just some little stars, little gold stars around the circle. The Aw Yeah card, which is from my kit, and I'm pairing that currently with this 6x8 pattern paper that is here from the main kit with one of the trees. Now this isn't adhered down. This is one of the wood trees in the main kit. Not adhered down, just stuck in there. I actually like the look of that. It's nice and simple, so maybe that will be a day that I will talk about my tree. But often these 6x8 pages, I really do like to include a full page photo on those. So we'll see as it comes along. Okay, moving on here. That was 4, so this is 5. On 5, I just have one of the star pattern papers from my kits from my kit with the Emily Lay, the gold number 5 that was included in her kit. And that again is just in the pocket for right now. This may end up being a photo. It may just be the pattern paper. I don't know yet. But here's where I want to show you one of my favorite things I'm doing that I've decided to do so far. After going back for the storytelling class and looking at all my past albums, I really liked some of the ones that had interactive sorts of elements going on. And so I decided to take 5 of the tags. So the main kit comes with a set of 31 tags. And I'm taking the first 5 and I've attached them with a loop, a metal loop from Tim Holtz and one of his little philosophy tags, and then an old star, which is a star that I've had in my star stash. And it's got all 5 tags in here. And what I'm planning on doing is that on the 5th, so here's an example of somewhere where I'm kind of thinking ahead to this actual story that I might tell. I'm going to tell the story of 5 of something. Maybe it's 5 favorite past Christmas memories, or maybe it's 5 things I love right now, or maybe it's 5 gifts I hope to get or receive, or 5 things I'm looking forward to this season, something like that. And then I will either write and put photos or some kind of something on the back and then I got to figure out how I'm going to attach it. So it might just be that it gets attached to the ring. I might figure out a way to better secure it in the pocket. I'm super excited about this idea. I like, having something to pull out of there, even when you're using the divided page protectors and being able to use some of the metal pieces. I'm feeling good about that idea. So that's day 5. On day 6, I don't have anything in the back right now, but this day 6 is one of the 2x2 pages. And right now I've left it intact. I may end up cutting off the edge again like I've done in the past, but right now it just has 3 more of those circles that I made. The tree, December memories, and magic. I just cut one of these tags, these white tags, down to fit 2x2 where the 6 goes off the edge a little bit. I haven't done anything on the back of these tags yet. I may punch pattern paper. It may be a little photo. It may be something else. I don't know yet. And I decided to just leave that instead of putting some other little patterns on there just so I can kind of see what's happening on that day. I added the most wonderful time of the year transparency, the full page transparency. This is from the main kit as well. In on this day, this may move, you know, depending on what the story is I'm telling, that sort of thing. But I figure that if at least I get it in there, then I'm aware that it's there and moving it around becomes easy. Day 7 is a card from Ashley Goldberg, and that's pretty much the only thing that's in there right now. Day 8 includes a card from Emily Lay. Emily Lay's kit had a bunch of basically prompts of things to do that you could create an advent calendar, or you could make a banner, or anything that you'd want to do. But I like the idea of including a few of these into the main album as a prompt of something to do that day. So I think I have 3 of them in here throughout the album. And then I took the 8, and this is just how I embossed, just like that number 2, but this time I used the star stamp that was on one of the kits, or on one of the stamp sets. I had a little bit of a problem with the embossing ink though. As I was doing it, it was sliding around. So again, I just kind of decided, you know what, it kind of looks like snow, whatever, it's good enough. I don't need to worry about it too much. And then I did the pewter embossing ink embossing powder on the background there. And like I said, right now, that is just in the pocket. When I actually do the day, I will either stitch it closed or in some way make it so that it's not falling out of the album. On day 9, you can see the back of the 8. I'm not sure yet how I want to work this page, but I knew that I just wanted to get that number 9 in there from the main kit. Over here, I've included the wood circle. This one has a snowflake on it, but I want you, if snowflakes aren't really happening where you live, I want you to also be able to think of it just as a shape, as a building block for telling your story, a building block for your page. I'm thinking that I may do a page that has a bunch of circles on it, circle photos. I have lots of circle punches. So this thing in here on day 9 is a reminder to me to think about circles and how can I tell my story via some kind of a circle setup there. On day 10, I've included this cute pattern page from Ashley Goldberg's kit. In the text of this post, I wrote a little bit about how I was thinking maybe I'll journal right onto the tree with either a silver pen, which I have in my shop, or a white pen. What white pen will be the question. I don't have one that I'm currently using that I'm in love with. I say often to people who ask me that I still haven't found a reliable one that always works. So I end up buying more, and some of them work sometimes, not other times. So if I find one this season that I think is working good, I'll let you know. But kind of thinking about that. The 10 is from the Emily Lay kit. On day 11, I'm going to use one of these tags in some way or another. Again, I'm not sure. I like the idea too of maybe even cutting off the top of the tag and punching holes and putting the tag in there so it turns on its own. That, to me, I haven't made that plan yet because it's really going to depend on the day. I mean, day 11 could end up being just the tag itself with a picture and maybe a little story on the back that is then hole punched and put right into here so it becomes a page in and of itself. That's something that I will probably consider for that when the time comes. I haven't put anything in the 2-inch pockets on this side of day 11. Day 12, I cut one of those tags again to just for the number, one of the white tags cut. Next, I have another one of the transparent full page transparencies from the main kit. This is the one that has little branches and the snowflake. For me, where I live, we have snow sometimes in December. I think it's pretty much happened for the last few years where there's one day where we get it. And for me, this will probably go or move depending on when and if that happens. Let's see. And then I have there was an extra one that was in there that would have been the other side of day 12. So the back side of day 13 then. For 13, I've got an Ashley Goldberg card and then another one of the wood circles that has December on it. I pulled another one of these stars. Again, this is just one from my stash. I looked a little bit online to see if I could find these anywhere. I know that I've gotten them previously from Studio Calico, maybe in one of our December Daily past kits, and also Freckled Fawn has had them. I looked on their website, I didn't see any, so if someone knows of a source for this kind of hand-drawn wood star, please post it, that would be great. I would like to add more to my own personal stash as well. I added a favorite moments card from Jasmine Jones's kit. And then over here, I've just got the 14 with the big red numbers in there right now to start with the gold foil December page. Again, might move it around, when I know what story I'm going to tell. The big Golden Day in Olden Days and Golden Days print that's from the main kit. This was one of my favorites. So I've got that in there for today, paired with a 15 from Ashley's kit. And then this was the other one that I had on my desk, which is Tuesday Stories, which is from a digital set that I have. I think it's called Everyday Boxes. I link it below. That's cut with a silhouette and then put on another one of those plastic sheets. I think Basil makes them as well. Or there's a company called Graphics maybe. But like I said, you can also just use that one needs to be adhered on there. You can also use I'm just gonna leave it there for right now. You can also use page protectors that you cut up to that 4x6 size and then use that as the base for whatever you put in the pocket so that it ends up floating there without going anywhere else. Okay, next up for day 16, I've put in the Around Here card. This is one of the stories that I always tell in December where I kind of go around the house and take pictures. Often I do that more than once a month, so I've kind of set a spot here for that. With the number 16 that's from the Emily Lay kit that I cut off on the sides I trimmed it down to make it fit in that 2" by 2" pocket. I'm a big fan of cutting things off the edge to make them fit there. Day 17, right now I just have another one of the the white tags. So again, maybe I would do what I talked about on the previous one of just making it a page in and of itself, or it may be used in an entirely different way. 18, I added in just one of Peppermint's little numbers. Those numbers are awesome from her kit, plus a silver star. 2 cards from the main kit. This is probably one of my personal favorite patterns in my kit, just those little black and white trees. And then one of the cards that says noted. I've cut up all of the cards that I'm probably going to use from the main kit, and I have them in a little basket on my tabletop so that when December actually arrives, I'll be able to just pull those out and kind of look through them. And really there's only maybe 20 total, less than that. So I'm not looking through 500 cards, I'm just looking through the ones that I've already established are in alignment with what I'm looking for and what I want to include this year. 19, this is one of the cards from Ashley's kit, and then one of the Emily Lay cards. So this one says, let's look at Christmas lights. I don't even know what day of the week the 19th is yet, so it may work, it may not work, it might have to be adjusted around a little bit. We shall see. And then the 20 from the Emily Lay there. Happy Holidays is from the main kit. 21 also. Figuring out how to use that tag in some way or another. That 21 is paired with a 2" pocket page, and so I've just included like one of the little trees right now, one of those older hand-drawn stars, and then one of the metal rimmed circle tags. It is likely for me to, some of the other embellishments that were included, I'm thinking of them in the main kit, like the label stickers, and there were some word stickers, and there's some other little bits of things. There's some trees, there's some more of I'm trying to think of all of them, some of the badges. Those are probably all things that I will add directly onto my photos as I am doing this. One thing you may also notice that I mentioned above or below, depending on where this happened, where this goes in the post, is that I haven't printed out any of my daily overlays yet. And sometimes in the past I've printed them all out in advance and then I use half of them. Or, I use 1 or 2 or 4 or 5. I didn't print them all out this year. I'm deciding that I will print them on demand or print them as I want to use them for journal cards or overlays. A lot of times I like to use them, they're essentially overlays directly on a photo and then print it out. So I'm leaving myself a little bit of flexibility and room to do that in this album this year. For 22, I've got the Jingle All the Way page, and then I have found these metal 2s that I've had forever. I don't have a source for you because I'm not sure where they came from, but they were kind of in my stash of metal things. They may be a product from Tim, they may be a product from Prima, I'm not sure. So if somebody has those or seen those before, if you could post a link, that would be awesome. I'm just trying to use some of the stuff that I have too, in addition to the things that come with the kits. Pattern paper here, one of the ones that's in my kit, so some handwritten words. I've included this transparency, the circle transparency, in on this day, which is the 23rd. And again, this one may move. I'm not sure yet. You could also cut these up to make them last more throughout the album if you wanted to have more inserts between pages. But I'm kind of cutting down on that just for myself personally. I've got a Today card in there from the main kit. Fa La La, this one from Jasmine. 23 from Emily Lay. That's from the main kit. Again, those wood snowflake stars that I really like. Good Times from the kit, the 24 stars, one of the Ashley Goldberg ones. This one's from Jasmine. It's one of my favorite ones. It's almost one that I want to frame. I actually used it on a layout that's going to be in Scrapbook and Cards Today in their upcoming issue as well. It's just, I think it's just so lovely. So the 24th, usually, you know, we're getting together with family or we're celebrating here by ourselves. So space for stories there. And then I just kind of started putting in a few on the 25th. I've got a couple pages of things right now for the end. The 25th is always touch and go for me in terms of what I include. Many of you guys that have seen my walkthrough videos in all of the past albums in the storytelling class, which by the way, if you still want to join, it's still open. There's still time to really get intentional about your album if you're wanting that this year. I think that's really a big piece of that class, and being able to see all those past albums in one place, along with a bunch of storytelling ideas and things to do to get ready for December. So pattern trees, the Ho 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 for Santa, Merry Christmas is from the Ashley Goldberg kit, and then I've got one of the big red snowflakes and then the 25, and they're just kind of waiting to see. A lot of times for me, you know, it gets even looser as the month goes along in terms of the planning, because I do change my mind and things evolve as it goes along. But this is a good start for me. I feel like I've done some embossing, I've done some thinking ahead, and just the fact of like doing something before December, I think is really valuable. And it has been for me in the past. I know a lot of people, kind of, you know, they're worried that they don't know what stories they're going to tell. And my reminder again to people, especially this week, as this has been a topic of conversation, is that I don't know what story I'm going to tell. I told you on the 5th, I'm going to do something about five things of this or that. So I know that's going to happen. But on the 4th, I don't know, maybe it'll be about my tree because I put the tree in there, but it might be something completely different. I really try to let the story that's on my heart, or the story that seems to be the most important one for the day, get told in this album. So that is where I am at right now. I'm super happy to answer any questions if you have them in the comments, things you want to know, things you are wondering about. These, again, all need to get fused in there. I probably could have done that one since I don't plan on changing it at all. And I might stitch it, and you'll see if I do anything different on it, I'll show it to you in the blog post, but I think I'm probably just going to leave it and then use the fuse tool potentially to shut those pockets there. I wish you all the best this holiday season. If you're still interested in adding any more kits, or you need something else, or this is your first time seeing this, we do have kits available under the December Daily link here in my shop. And we're happy to get those out to you if you want one, or a few more things to add to your collection. I am definitely a big proponent of simplifying, and wish that for you as well. So merry, happy everything. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Thank you for joining me. I'm super excited to see what stories you decide to tell this year for your own family in your own voice.